Are you looking for some great indie podcasts to listen to? Check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com, where you can find a list of great indie podcasts, get links to their official websites, and even listen to some of their episodes without needing to create an account or log in. Here's an example of one of the great indie podcasts you can find on Pod Nation.
Hello, and welcome to Nothing Ever Happens in Canada, and I'm Canadian Girl. Do you like adventures, myths, legends, and learning about some of Canada's greatest moments in history? Well, then this is the podcast for you. Join me every 2 weeks as we travel around Canada, exploring things like mermaids, giants, lost gold mines, and we even stop once in a while to observe historical events and people. Come on over to the channel and join the crew by hitting that subscribe button today. You don't want to miss out on our next adventure.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Better Than Robin Hood.
Hello, dear.
Hello dear, I'm Pete.
I'm Fran.
Yes, and we're still in the midst of Star Wars season.
We are.
Still trying to find out if any of the Star Wars films are better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yep. Maybe not.
Well, we'll get to that. Because this week we watched episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
We did.
And you found out why it was called Attack of the Clones.
Yes, I had an epiphany right at the end.
Yeah, literally as the credits rolled, you went, oh, that's why it's called Attack of the Clones.
No, it was when, what's his name?
Well, it began the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's when I realised what it was.
I'm glad that cleared up a mystery for you.
Yes.
Do you wonder why the third one's called Revenge of the Sith?
Well, no, because obviously it's a bad man, isn't it? They're going to go after the bad man.
We've got an in-depth discussion of the Clone, not the Clone Wars, that was a TV series, of Attack of the Clones coming right up.
Yes.
We'll also be hearing another one of my tapes from the Hollywood archives, things I've found in George Lucas's house. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Good. And we'll be speaking to another popular figure from history. But first, we're going to need a quick celebration because we've reached over 1,000 downloads.
Woo!
Yeah. Some firework noises, things
That's
like
exciting.
that. Maybe a little burst of the Pogues. Yeah. Yes. And also, I mean, we want to keep those downloads going up, so we best inject some true crime into the equation.
Okay.
You ready for the true crime section?
Yes.
Let's play the true crime section music.
True crime section. True crime section.
The Moors murderer, did he do it?
No.
He did do it.
Oh.
That's the end of the true crime section.
I don't know who he was.
True crime section.
You don't know who the Moors murderer was?
No.
It's Ian Brady. Yeah.
Oh.
We're not supposed to do this much true crime. Don't want people to learn too
Yeah, but you already asked me about Ian Brady and his wife.
No, that was Rose and Fred West.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This
Okay.
true crime section's getting longer and longer.
Sorry.
So what have you been up to this week?
I started my first week back at my new job.
Your new job, yeah.
And I was at home a bit more than than you expected.
Yeah, but I've been suffering with a really bad throat all week.
I had to look after you, didn't I?
Apologies if my voice is a little bit weak. I know it seems like I've passed it on to Fran, so apologies if Fran's voice is a little weak. But hopefully talk of Star Wars will perk us both up. Well, I have been going through some of the archives of stuff that I stole from George Lucas's house, and I've managed to find a tape of him going on a date before.
A date?
A date. A George Lucas date. Took her out on a date, so let's listen to that tape.
Why, oh, here she comes. Oh, man, I hope this date goes well. Hi. Thanks for agreeing to come on a date with me, beautiful woman. You don't go on many dates. Still, pick whatever you want to eat here from the mall food court.
Well, it's my pleasure, George. I was intrigued to see that you were a writer and director. You helped to create a beautiful romantic story of a princess falling in love with a handsome smuggler. I thought a romantic like you would be a wonderful date. Also, you're loaded from selling all of that Jar Jar Binks merchandise.
Well, sure. I'm just gonna try out some of my romantic lines from my new movie. You have grown too. Grown more beautiful, I mean.
Oh, well, that's a little awkward, but it's also kind of charming, George. I'm sure your next one will be better.
Oh, really? I thought that was good. What if the character acted like a petulant kid and started arguing with his boss? Would that make the woman think that he was a real big man?
Oh, no. You'd come across like a real douchebag.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, what if I complained about my boss until it looked like I might cry?
No, you'd seem like a douchebag. Like a little bitch.
Oh, my. Darn. What if I just look at you like this?
Please don't do that. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Jesus, you fucking women are so sensitive.
I thought a man like you would take me somewhere romantic, like the beach.
Oh, the beach? Oh, not there. Last time I went to the beach, I got all sand in my ass crack. I had to pay one of my servants to wash me off with a garden hose. I hate sand. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere, especially in my ass crack and my balls. Oh, hey, that's pretty good. I'm gonna put that in the movie.
Maybe leave out the stuff about the ass crack.
Oh, whatever, lady. This isn't a democracy. In fact, I hate democracy.
This is not really good date talk, George. Sand, fascism, creepy sexy looks. Next you'll be telling me you've wiped out a tribe of indigenous people. And not just the men either, but the women and the children.
Well, now you kind of mention it. There was this time when we were in Tunisia shooting episode 4.
Well, I'm leaving, George, and good luck in your future dating.
No, wait, come back. Oh, gosh darn it, there she goes. I just don't understand how women's minds work at all. Oh, no, never mind. I'll just tell everyone on set that she had sex with me. Everyone will have to believe me, or they're fired.
Oh, that was
Very interesting,
George
wasn't it?
on his date there. He doesn't have much luck, does he, George?
No. He's married now, though, isn't he?
He was.
Oh.
Yeah. No, he's been married twice. Yeah, I think his first wife left him after the first Star Wars movie. Because I think he took credit for all her work. She basically saved the movie in editing.
Oh.
And then, yeah, I think he remarried and had some children with them, or they already had children. I can't remember. Google it.
We will. We will later.
Or maybe keep listening to the tapes that I find in George Lucas's house, and more will be revealed. Yeah.
Yes.
Look forward to that. So, we watched one of George Lucas's finest films.
Attack of the Clones.
Episode 2. Star Wars Episode 2. Attack of the Clones. Let's have some facts about Star Wars Episode 2. Attack of the Clones. 66% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's pretty damn generous by the critics myself.
I don't know. I really liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see if it's better than Robert. 56% audience score, which again I think's pretty good, because there's a lot of hate directed towards this, but not as much hate as there was for The Phantom Menace, I must say. It was, of course, directed by George Lucas. It stars Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Ian McDiarmid, Christopher Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Frank Oz. It was the first Star Wars movie not to be the highest grossing film of the year. It was beaten by Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, I can see why the Harry Potter won.
All those films are better.
Yeah, Harry Potter is so cute.
Yeah. The original plot was supposed to feature Lando Calrissian being a clone, but this was later changed.
Who was he again?
Lando Calrissian, only one of the best characters in Star Wars.
Which one is he?
I don't want to say he's the black one, but he's the black one in the original trilogy.
Oh, what? He's the bad dude with the sun?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god. Lando.
Yeah, and?
So there's Leia, Princess Leia, and there's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And there's Han Solo.
Yeah.
And there's Lando.
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
Oh, I have to call that. The script was finished only a week before shooting was supposed to begin. I think that probably comes across in how bad the script is. And there's so much CGI in the movie that the droid factory scene took just 4.5 hours to shoot.
It's very impressive, though. I did like that scene.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay, I suppose.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it?
Yeah. Adjusted for inflation, this remains the lowest grossing Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if, even if adjusting for inflation, it grossed less than Solo, but according to Wikipedia, this is the lowest grossing Star Wars
Yeah, but you
movie.
can't really trust Wikipedia.
Not always. This might have been the most successful one, for all Wikipedia knows. But
Yeah.
you gotta trust, sometimes you just gotta trust Wikipedia.
Okay.
Fran, can you describe the plot of Attack of the Clones?
Okay, so Luke Skywalker grows up. And he is now a...
I'm just going to stop you. Luke Skywalker grows up?
I mean, Anakin Skywalker. That's it.
Yeah.
They're both the same, really. Oh, it's
polar
his dad,
opposites.
isn't it?
Anakin becomes dark side.
Yeah, but Luke Skywalker's his father.
Luke Skywalker's his son.
That's what I mean. His dad is obviously, you know,
Who's Luke Skywalker's dad?
Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Keep
That's
it
what
up.
I'm saying. So obviously Anakin grows up, and now he's a protege.
He is.
Yeah. He's not a full Jedi,
He is not.
but he thinks he is. He's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, isn't
Oh,
he?
little bitch, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he moans a lot.
Mm.
And basically, there's going to be a meeting at the Senate,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to discuss the imminent war that might happen.
Yes.
And Queen Padme, who is not Queen Padme anymore, she is just a member of the Senate, is going there to vote, basically.
Yeah.
But she's going to vote for the bad man that nobody thinks is the bad man, because he's actually the Sith.
It's never, excuse me, never fully explained, but I think she's actually going to vote against him
Yeah.
because he wants an army, but she doesn't want there to be an army.
Well, yeah. But she
Yeah.
said, I'll do it if I have to.
Yeah, she does still like him and trust him though.
Yeah, which is wrong, because he's obviously bad.
She doesn't know that.
But anyway.
Anyway.
So she goes there, basically, someone tries to kill her, and then it leads Anakin Skywalker and his Jedi friend to go and pursue this line of questioning.
Yep.
Basically, there's a planet that should be there and isn't there, and that's where they're making all the clones. And he meets a unfurly fellow who tries to shoot him.
Yep.
And then basically Anakin Skywalker and his missus are gone back to her planet so that they can wait there, but then he decides to go and find his mother, and his mother has obviously been taken by the Sand People.
She's been bummed by Sand People.
Wow, I don't know what's happened to her, but it's implied, I think.
It's heavily implied. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so he saves her, she dies, he kills all the people there, and he takes her back to his wife, as in his mum's husband,
Yeah.
who lost a leg. I wasn't sure how that happened.
He lost a leg trying to rescue her.
Oh, okay.
And then, because it didn't work once the first time, he just never bothered again.
Yeah. I was going to say, why did his son go and get her?
Yeah, he went, 30 of us went out, only 4 of us came back. Get more? Alert the authorities? Like...
You might as well just accept she's dead. Well...
I know there's not many authorities on Tatooine, but yeah, he didn't try very hard.
No, I thought that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, so he has to deal with that. And then there's a massive capturing of his man who's in charge of him. What's his name again?
I don't know.
The Jedi
I'm
man.
Completely lost.
No, the Jedi. He gets captured, doesn't he?
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, and then they go and try and save him, but they also get captured.
They do.
And then they're going to get eaten by these animals.
Mm-hmm.
And basically a big fight scene happens.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-la-da-la. And the bad people have won for now.
Well, there you go.
That's basically it.
And if that isn't the clearest description of the plot, I don't know what is.
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.
That's why it's called Attack of the Clones.
And that's
There's
why
loads of clones.
and that is why it's called Attack of the Clones. Yes, there you go. That's what happens in the movie.
Yeah, I missed the bit out where she's jumping in and out of...
You also missed out the bit where Anakin and Padme fall in love.
Oh yeah, everybody knows that.
That's a very important bit.
Oh yeah, and they get married at the end of the movie, don't they?
They do get married, yeah. Before we get on to what things we liked, I asked some of the podcasts that we promote on the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com what they thought about the movie. Here's some of their thoughts on Attack of the Clones. So the Fanboy and the Hater podcast say, overall, I like the prequel trilogy, but this is its worst film. In my mind, I fast forward through most of it, watch from when all the Jedi arrive in the arena to the end, then pretend the rest of the movie is the Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series. It's probably a good way to approach it.
I don't know, I only went on my phone once.
Oh, so better than...
But I haven't watched it that many times.
This is true.
I've probably only watched it 3 times now.
The Nooks and Crannies podcast say, I hate how pedantic it got. I'm all for learning the ins and outs of intergalactic parliamentary procedure, but come on, give me a lightsaber or 3 already. Shit. Jar Jar's random cameo was a welcome break. Ugh, disagree with that. Although I question the cronyism that likely landed him that job. Yeah, I agree with that.
He had to kiss some feet.
Yeah, why would you employ Jar Jar Binks in any capacity?
I don't know why she thought.
Well,
Maybe Padme thought...
Well, I suppose there's 2 races that live on Naboo, the Gungans and whoever.
Oh yeah, he's a good representation.
And the Gungans wouldn't want him around because he's a dickhead. So yeah, it's probably best to send him to the Senate.
Send him to Parliament. It's a bit like what's happening now, isn't it?
Yeah, so people like Jacob Rees-Mogg up in Parliament.
Like Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
Maybe Boris Johnson is one of those water people.
I think they looked at him at school and went, "Oh, he's basically retarded. Let's send him to Parliament where he can't do any harm."
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring on the Weird podcast saying, this movie has some great moments. While Anakin is off having good feelings, Obi-Wan discovered the clone factory, and then he fought Jango Fett. Then Anakin has some bad feelings. Christopher Lee is a Sith Lord, and the Jedi had that awesome arena battle. There you go, it's like one of your descriptions, that.
Yeah.
I Understood That Reference podcast and Trivial Theatre say, the pinnacle of bad CGI and bad storytelling, and why the prequel trilogy is held in such notorious esteem, almost unredeemable in every way. So I guess they doesn't like it. So
they don't like 1, 2 or 3?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, in fairness.
I do like 3 where he goes...
Don't. Spoilers.
I am your father. I like that bit.
Fucking episode 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was number 3.
No.
Oh.
That's, you were my brother, Anakin.
Oh, it's a bit tosh then, isn't it? You mean I have to sit through number 3 and it doesn't
And
come
4.
till 5?
4's brilliant though. So.
Oh yeah, with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like all them.
The C Word podcast says it's by far the worst of the entire series. It's so long, so boring. I watched it a few years ago for the first time since I saw it in theatres, and my god, it was a slog. And some other podcasts that aren't on the Pod Nation list. Jack and the Geek Stalk say, the acting is terrible from almost everyone in this bar Christopher Lee. The sheer volume of CGI and the poor quality of it is shocking. The only interesting part is the arena scene and the beginning of the Clone Wars. I literally laughed out loud when Yoda went mental. Yeah.
He's an apt little fella, that Yoda.
Yeah, we'll get to Yoda's flipping about. I don't like it. The Gorilla Brain podcast say, some of the worst writing and acting in the Star Wars franchise on display here. The continued ruination of the Yoda character, Obi-Wan as Uncle Tom Emo, and Anakin is cringe.
I have to agree with Anakin is cringe.
Yeah. And finally, DIY Therapy say, the only redeeming things about these movies is learning how Palpatine came to power. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, because now I know why the Sith man is there.
Yeah, now you know where the Emperor came from.
Yeah.
So what are your highlights of Attack of the Clones?
Maybe the scene where they fight off those animals.
It's a good scene.
Yeah.
I like it because I find a lot of their problems are always solved by them just getting their lightsabers out and doing stuff with them, and they can't do that because they haven't got their lightsabers.
Yeah, so they have to do other things.
They have to use their cunning and initiative. Yeah.
And Padme is well away before the two men.
Is
shows
far more
women are
capable.
superior.
I'd just say the Jedi rely too much on their lightsabers, whereas she's never had one. So.
And they have mind control Jedi.
Yeah, they are supposed to be able to like trick people's minds.
Yeah.
You think they could just tell the animals not to attack them? Yeah, but they don't. Yeah. So that was your favourite part or just a highlight?
I would say that was probably my only highlight.
Your only highlight. Fair enough. Well, I have some notes.
Well, maybe you'll remind me when we do the notes.
Yeah, we'll go through my notes. So, firstly, there's the most inept assassination attempt of all time.
Oh yeah, where they stick those little bugs fins.
Putting a bomb on a ship was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. So we'll try our next plot. Cut a small glory hole into her bedroom window and put some poisonous centipedes in her room. If you can already cut a hole through a window, why don't you just put a bomb through the hole?
Why don't you just shoot her?
Or yeah, put a little gun through. Yeah, it was really dumb. And then that's why it didn't work.
Very dull, that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it adds more tension because... And obviously you can't really kill Padme off.
No.
But you'd think they'd have tried something a bit more effective. So,
yeah, you would have thought so.
The bomb didn't work. We've only got one thing left. We just put some millipedes in her room.
Bit dull.
Contrived. Contrived. And then, yeah, them chasing after her and everything. That was really stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's kind of fun.
It's alright.
Yeah. There's a lot of good effects in it.
Yeah.
Lots of people jumping around and that. You said you liked Yoda's little flying wheelchair.
Yeah, where he's in his little flying chair.
Yeah.
I do like that. That's what I would want when I'm old one day, if we were in Space World.
Well, it makes you wonder why they don't all use them.
Because it's lazy?
Yeah, but you could zoom around all those giant buildings they've always got to get around.
I suppose.
Yeah. Their buildings are always huge in Star Wars. I often wonder, like, they must get really knackered walking around those. I wonder Yoda has to walk with a walking stick.
I know. He gets tired because in his old age.
My next note is a whiny little bitch, creepy sex looks.
Yeah, he does that all the time, doesn't he?
Anakin's looks at Padme like he's about to attack her. Like, all the time.
Like he's had nothing ever in his life.
Yeah, it makes me think that George Lucas was like, give her your sexiest look. And he's like, oh, I don't know, George.
And he looks like he's constipated.
I look at her like you're going to rape her.
He just looks like he's constipated to me.
And
like he really needs a wee, but he can't go.
Yeah, like, just odd looks. Yeah. She even says, you're making me feel uncomfortable.
Comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, if a woman says that to you, you need to wise up, fix up. Yeah. And then it's probably not best when chatting up a woman to, like, whine about your boss not being kind to you.
Yeah, you should never whine about your boss to your missus.
And she was in the middle of telling him something about her job. And I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to tell you how to pick up chicks, but you should listen to things they have to say.
Look, listen, and feel.
Exactly. Just think about football until they're finished talking, and then and you can nod.
You're such a bum bag.
And then we're introduced to something completely odd and out of place when Obi-Wan goes to a 1950s diner that's owned by a really fat alien.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, where would he have
And
got...
no, because he wanted to know what the dart was, and this dude apparently knows everything.
Yeah, but how would he know what a 1950s diner looks like?
Well, because maybe they had pictures.
Well, but that happens on Earth. This takes place in a galaxy far, far away.
Well, maybe it's well known.
You're going to have got like a Jackrabbit Slims.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Travolta's going to take Uma Thurman.
Maybe there's a John Travolta alien.
There probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought, oh, this will be good.
Maybe Dexter Jetser is John Travolta.
Maybe.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Maybe John Travolta was always an alien.
Well, he's a Scientologist, and they believe they're aliens. So this is all starting to come together.
Oh, yes.
I think we've uncovered a plot here.
We have.
Yes. Maybe I'll have to dig into that, find some tapes in the archives.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've often wondered as well, it rains sometimes in some of the Star Wars scenes, and no one ever seems to have an umbrella.
It's because they got their big cloaks, isn't it?
Yeah, but he still gets really wet.
I know. And he stands out in it all the time.
He does, yeah. When he's sending a message, he goes right out into the rain to do it.
Why didn't he just do it from his cockpit?
Yeah. When I make a phone call in the rain, I'd get undercover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd.
It's very stupid, yeah.
I thought that.
Padme, though, although Anakin is a creepy pervert, Padme does lead him on a bit with some of her sexy outfits.
Well, that one where she's wearing black
wearing an
leather
S&M outfit right next to a fire.
I know. She must be sweating like a piglet.
She had UTS after that, didn't she? For those of you who don't know what UTS is, that means under tit sweat. Yeah, and she's wearing a very beautiful dress out on the lake.
Yes,
yeah.
Very pretty. All backless.
Although I will point, I'm hasten to add, just because a lady's wearing a dress that shows a lot of skin does not give you permission to just start stroking her back.
But she was there with him and she didn't do anything when he did it.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you can just start touching women just because their skin's out.
I'm sure there's meant to be some fighting in these.
Well, that's what I mean. You'd think so. There's too much bloody Anakin and Padme.
Yakking.
Yeah. And yeah, he pulls out obviously some of his very famous chat-up lines about not liking sand, how he supports fascism.
I don't understand how they got onto sand. Oh yeah, she was saying, "Oh, I really like walking on the beach and the lake."
Yeah, something like that.
And then he was like, "Oh, I don't like sand because I get it on my crack."
Yeah, gets all over his balls.
He gets sandy balls.
So they don't go to the beach; they go for a picnic in a field.
Yeah,
and that's when he admits to supporting fascism.
Yeah, I know. No, he just blurts it out, doesn't he? No
like,
warning.
Well, I don't believe in democracy. Okay. Probably not going to have sex with you later.
Red flag.
Red flag. And then a bit later on, when they go back to Tatooine, he admits to murdering an entire tribe of people.
Another red flag. So there's 2 red flags there.
I'd say 3.
Yeah.
Well, and the creepy sex looks that make her feel uncomfortable.
So 3 already. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's 4 red flags, and she's like, right, I'm still going to marry this guy. Yeah.
It's okay. We can cover that up.
Yeah. Also, he says when he makes her fruit float around and cuts it up for her, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Showing off your magic tricks.
Yeah.
But he says if Obi-Wan caught me doing this, he'd be very grumpy. But Obi-Wan uses the Force to make things float to him all the time.
Yeah, I know he does.
He literally does it in the scene after this one where he goes to see Yoda. And then he needs his little map ball back. And he just makes it float into his hand.
If I had that power, right, I would make myself a cup of tea by sitting in the living room and doing my cup of tea and then floating it towards me so I didn't even have to get up.
Well, you wouldn't need to, because you could look at me and wave your hand in front of my face and say, you want to make me a cup of tea. And I'd be, I want to make you a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't need to expend any of your Force powers.
But I've got such Force powers, I could actually do that and still watch telly at the same time.
Well, that would be good, because then you could bring me one as well. He has a nightmare wank.
Oh god, yeah, he's very sweaty.
Yeah, it really looks like he's wanking when he's having a
does.
nightmare. Yeah.
It looks very odd.
And as he's just been like turned down by Natalie Portman in a sexy outfit, he probably is just wanking.
Well, why doesn't he have his arms out from the covers? It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it really looks like he's wanking.
Yeah, he should have had his arms out.
Yeah. Anyway, on to some fighting. Obi-Wan
Yes.
chases after Boba and Jango Fett,
Yes.
and they release some seismic charges. I think that bit's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I like space battles.
Yes.
It's pretty much what you want from a Star Wars film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say so.
And obviously we get some more scenes in Tatooine where Anakin kills some sand people. And I noticed when I was watching it that whenever there's actually any location shooting, like where they shoot some bits at Lake Como and out in the desert in Tunisia,
Yeah.
it looks really good. It's almost like when it's not just all CGI.
It's very pretty, I
The
thought.
film doesn't look like hot garbage.
It makes me want to go to Lake.
Definitely makes me want to go to Lake Como.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tunisia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah, it's just a lesson, like, if you want to make a film and you want it to be set in, like, all different locations, just go to the places and shoot it there.
Yes, I
Don't
agree.
just try and do it all on a computer.
There's more money that way, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks better.
All right.
That's, admittedly, in the new Star Wars films, they're shooting on location again. Yeah, so it works better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sand people rape his mum.
We've already gone through that.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks isn't around a lot, which is good, but we do get his famous Delor Feligats speech to
Yeah,
the
he
Senate.
does do well, that speech, I thought. He does do very well.
Apart
with it.
from messing up his lines and giving supreme power of the army to
Yeah, but that's
Palpatine.
what everybody wanted.
He was manipulated into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
We said we both liked the creepy bug people on Geonosis, the Geonosians, the little creepy flying monsters.
I didn't like them.
No, you liked the look of them, though.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you thought they looked bad?
I didn't like them. They're creepy.
Oh, yeah, what's the point? They're supposed to creep you out.
Oh.
So they're good. It's good design.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, she tells him, Anakin is told by Padme just before they're about to be executed that she loves him. And they have a little kiss. But you can really see in his face, he's like, why didn't you fucking tell me that
Yeah.
when we could have had sex? Now I'm going to die a virgin.
He's like, God's sake, what is wrong with women?
Yeah, I know, bloody women. I'm glad I'm going to die. this is the bullshit I have to put
I'm
up
going to
with.
die saving your ass.
Yeah, oh dear. But there's a nice little shot of them being taken out into the
Yeah, it's
arena with them
beautiful,
kissing.
isn't it?
Very nice looking. And the Jedi is fighting in the arena scene. That's pretty damn cool.
Yes, I like that. All of the Jedis.
Yeah, all of the battle scenes are good fun.
They're always good, though.
You get to see Christopher Lee riding a space moped.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did like that bit too.
And Yoda flipping off all the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
So,
Very agile for an old man.
well, yeah. Makes you wonder why he needs to walk with a walking stick.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
odd.
Very odd. Maybe it's to lull you into a full sense of
I
security.
think so.
Yeah, it's deception, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite part of Attack of the Clones?
Oh, I like the fight scenes.
Yeah, I think the battle's probably my
And
favourite.
I like it where 3CPO,
Free C-3PO.
yeah, that one, where his head gets taken off and put on another drone. I think that's quite funny.
See, I think that distracts from the excited action, but it's there to please someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I quite like that bit.
If it works for you, then good.
What else did I like?
What was your favourite part?
I don't know. There's nothing that really stands out for me, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know.
Was your favourite part of C-3PO getting his head put on a battle droid?
No, that's not my favourite part.
No.
I would say, what's your favourite part?
The arena battle with the Jedi, definitely.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That can be your favourite part as well.
I like the battle,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say any particular part of the film was my absolute favourite.
So it doesn't, no part of it stands out as being awesome.
No.
No. Well, it doesn't bode well. Who's your favourite character?
Oh, Princess.
Padme.
Yeah. She's got some balls on her.
She's a spunky lass.
She's definitely better than old what's-his-face.
Anakin, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's always Obi-Wan. Yeah, I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. Crucial question. Is Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
No.
Oh, did it get close?
No.
In a percentage.
If my favourite bit was where his head was put on another drone,
doesn't bode well.
I would say 60% max.
Oh, that's very generous.
Max.
Very generous indeed. If the C-3PO's head being put on a battle droid was taken out, what would the score be then?
45.
Oh, blimey. So a lot of it rests on that.
I like them too. They're very funny.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They're my favourites.
Well, that was Attack of the Clones. Another failure. Let's see if Revenge of the Sith next week will be better than Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
We shall see.
We shall see. It's my favourite of the prequel trilogy. So
it's the one where they fight a lot in space and the Death Star gets
lots
created.
of action, yeah.
Yeah, you see, I think that one might be a bit better.
Well then, I'm depressed that I've failed again, but I'll cheer myself up by calling up someone in the past.
Who are we calling?
So, on this day in history, November the 8th, 1895, German scientist Wilhelm Röntgen discovered X-rays.
Oh.
So that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
We use them all the time now, don't we?
Very handy, yeah, for seeing through things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should we have a chat with Wilhelm?
Yes, okay then.
Okay, I will fire up the time phone. Was ist das? Was ist das? Unser Telefonen.
Hello, dear. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well, yes.
How are you this morning?
I'm delightful, yeah.
Can you spare a moment to chat to us?
Well, I'm busy, but I always have time for the telephone.
Okay, morning, Wilhelm. Tell us about these X-rays of yours.
Oh, yeah, they're marvelous. I will be able to use them to see through the solid objects, as long as they are not too dense. I noticed them as I was sneaking through my laboratory to put my towel down on a sunbed near the pool.
Oh, what will you use your discovery for?
Well, they will probably come in handy for some sort of medical purpose, but I have my own plans for them. I will make a machine that will allow me to take the photographs through the toilet door.
Oh, that sounds a bit ominous, but why?
Oh, so I can, peep on the ladies while they take the poo-poo, yeah. Also, I can see through the ladies' clothes and see a bit of the ankle and the boobies, yeah.
Well, that's a bit naughty.
I am very naughty. Tell me again how naughty I am.
Stop that. You could also see tumours and foreign objects and fractures, could you not?
Oh, don't be disgusting, woman. Wilhelm will use his new machine to make with the sexy time. Wilhelm is not into anything too freaky like tumours and broken bone porn. Wilhelm is very vanilla taste in sex for a German man.
All right then. What is considered a vanilla sexual appetite for a German then?
Well, I put some vanilla on my wife's shit before eating it to make it taste better. That's considered pretty effeminate in the beer halls of Stuttgart. Crazy.
That sounds disgusting.
Shit is tasty.
Well, thanks for inventing such a useful machine. It's a shame you're a pervert.
I am not a pervert. I'm just a German. Good day.
Oh. He was very
He's gone,
odd.
Yeah, he was...
I think if I could see him in real life, he'd be giving me that Anakin look.
Look what, having a nightmare wank. He sounds like the kind of man who would wank for a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was interesting, though. He did invent the X-ray. I guess we've got to cut him some slack.
Yeah. What was his first name, then?
Wilhelm.
What was his surname?
Let me have a look.
Wilhelm.
It's Wilhelm Röntgen.
Oh. Very odd.
He was odd, yeah. I can do a really good impression of him as well.
Yeah.
Right, so that's pretty much all we got time for this week. You can, of course, contact us and speak to us directly. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter on the handle Robin Hood Pod. I'd forgotten our handle then.
You had.
It's Robin Hood Pod. Yes.
It's okay, dude. Don't worry about it.
You can also find us on the Pod Nation list on Podchaser. There's 40 great podcasts on there, and we've added some promos into this episode for Nothing Ever Happens in Canada, Play Comics, and Ocho Docho Parley. Those are free, awesome podcasts. Check them out, and you can find them on podchaser.com on the Pod Nation list. Remember that if you're still listening to us on the Pete and Fran podcast, then that'll only be there until January. Although it does look like people are starting to get the message about the Pete and Fran podcast.
Migrate over. It's okay.
Yeah, we're nearly fully migrated over. In the last episode that went on there, only 8 people downloaded it.
Yes.
So I think obviously our numbers have gone up here, so I think they're starting to come across. But if you still haven't come across, for God's sake, come across.
Do it.
Please do, and tell all your friends as well. Don't forget to do that. Yeah, thanks. Welcome to the new show. If you have already migrated, check out Better Than Robin Hood. It's on all good podcasting apps. You
Lovely.
can find it anywhere. Big shout out to everyone who contributed to the discussion about the Attack of the Clones. Yeah, as I said, I listed some of the podcasts that contributed, so you should listen to them. Most of them can be found on the Pod Nation list at podchaser.com. What else shall we talk about? All the contributors have their own podcast, like I said. Everyone's got their own podcast these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for all the input. Next week, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this one. There's more action.
Lots more action in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take notes, I think.
And before we watch it, we won't tire ourselves out with illnesses and looking after our godson all day. So we'll have more excitement in our tank.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think as well, right, this is what, like in our last podcast, we did it on new movies and we watched things that were shit and that made us really deflated and we didn't want to talk about them. And we've watched 2 quite bad movies now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do find it a bit
I want to watch Ice Sharks.
Yeah. Well, all of the Star Wars movies from this point on are good. So,
yeah, but
we've watched the 2 bad ones.
We're watching Ice Sharks.
We will eventually watch Ice Sharks.
Star Wars.
After Star Wars season, we'll do Ice Sharks. I promise. Okay. Yes. So, yeah, next week, Revenge of the Sith. Big thanks to all our listeners.
Yes,
As
thank
I said,
you.
We're over 1,000 downloads. We're very excited. Thank you so much for getting us to this point. Please keep listening. Please tell your friends. Please like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Tell all your friends. Share it on Twitter. Let's make this the biggest podcast in the world.
Oh, you need to say your email. Didn't you say that?
Oh, yeah. If you want to email me, you can email me at petelangheldt30@gmail.com.
Yes.
Langhelt is spelt
Lang.
HELT. So that's petelangheldt30@gmail.com. Yeah. Thanks as well for the amount of you that downloaded the first Star Wars episode. Talking about Star Wars seems to get the punters through the door.
It does.
Done very well this week.
Popular subject.
Yeah, very popular. So it's a good job we're doing another... How many more of these movies have we got left?
5?
6. 6 more Star Wars. But they're all good ones now.
Okay.
All exciting and, yeah, they're not terrible like these ones.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for listening, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Hey, this is Ken M.
Padawan J.
Coach Duffy from the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour podcast. Every week, the ODPH is talking sports, movies, TV, comics, and more. It's always a parlay of topics on each episode. You can find the ODPH on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and wherever you find great podcasts. Don't forget to check out OchoDuroParlayHour.com, where you can find the links to all of the ODPH social media accounts, links to the bands whose music you hear each week on the show, hashtag 607 podcast info, and parlay points, our companion blog section of the show. Thanks for listening to the ODPH.
So once again, for some great indie podcasts, check out the Pod Nation list on podchaser.com.